Om Namah Shivaya. Last Asanga were speaking, we're commenting, reading the commentary and my explanation in the book Trikamukha Matani. It's about the stanzas 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's a long commentary. The stanzas read like this. He, Paramashiva, consists of Shiva and Shakti certainly eye consciousness. Namely, through his own Shakti indeed, Shiva knows his radiant existence. In the scripture of Venerable Trikashaivism, Shiva is technically called Prakasha truly, and Shakti, from a technical viewpoint, is called Vimarsha. Thus, according to the great yogis, this Prakasha is light which pervades everywhere, and Vimarsha is certainly awareness of that light, I am. There is no difference between Shiva and Shakti. They are like fire and its heat. For this reason, they are explained separately only for the sake of studying them, and there is no discrepancy of opinion about this. Okay, so I was commenting one stanza of Abhinavagupta in Tantraloka, the stanza 52 in chapter 1. I was commenting this, and I told that I will comment now the stanza 54 in Tantraloka, chapter 1. So, and there is no way to deny his luminous nature, such as Abhinavagupta states in chapter 1, stanza 54, the luminous nature of Shiva is Prakash. So Abhinavagupta wrote, Prakashona mayaschayam sarvatraiva prakashate anapahna vaniyatvat kim tasmin mana kalpanai. And this which is called conscious light is evident everywhere, as it cannot be denied. What mental invention or opinion is effective with reference to it? Namely, what mental invention can serve to prove it or to deny it? So it's proof from the beginning that is light. Why? Because we are conscious. You understand this? You are conscious, so it's light. Because you can see, you can perceive. So it's full of light. Without light, you cannot perceive. As Abhinavagupta clearly puts it, this conscious light, Prakasha or Shiva, is evident everywhere. So who is Shiva? I remember when I asked my Acharya who is Shiva, he told me, is that which is all the time everywhere. Who is that? You. All the time everywhere. Who is there? You. Or not? Who else? There's nobody else. Science wrote now, I was reading Science, they accept that without the perceiver, there is no reality. They accept this now. I was reading some last news. Without the perceiver, there is no reality. Finally, they realize, yes. It's the perceiver. That's why when you try to detect the center of the universe, there is no center of the universe, really. It's you only, the center of the universe. But no physical center of the universe. You can say the center of the universe is in the Milky Way. No. So you say, no, it's another galaxy. No, because wherever you go, the center of the universe is you again. Science confirmed this. I was watching a documentary about this situation. Wherever the perceiver moves is the center of the universe. So who is all the time? Lena, who is all the time in your life? You. You. All the time, everywhere, with your head moving. All the things change around you, but you're all the time there. And this happened forever. You don't remember one time when this didn't happen. You feel, I'm conscious all the time. You start to think, for example, about the past when you were a child, and before that, when you were unborn yet, and my God, but really, you don't feel that. You feel, I exist forever. You don't feel, I didn't exist before, I exist now. No, I exist only. I am, because I am is eternal. So how much time will you need to realize that I am is eternal, that you are eternal? How much time do you need? Why you need time? Because this thing in the middle. So this ego in the middle, these limitations in the middle. So all these things interfering all the time, that they are a creation of this I am too, are making you all the time doubtful about your eternity, your omnipresence, your state everywhere. Yes. So you have trouble. Because the main problem is that you can understand all this with your intellect, but you don't feel the bliss associated with experience. Yes, you don't feel the bliss. Because this I am, the scripture said, is Chidananda, is consciousness. So you are conscious, and it's Ananda. The Ananda part is removing you. Why? Because this Arnavamala blocks bliss. These limitations. And it's reinforced by Maya Mala, this impurity about duality. And Karma Mala, this impurity about being a doer. Who is the doer? Ego. So all the time this in the middle. This false notion that you are the doer. That's why you don't experience bliss. When finally, after years and years of repeating the same teachings, after years and years repeating the same teaching, bliss penetrates into you. This is the starting point of liberation. When you start, because Arnavamala is, how is it? Cediendo, is, how to say in English, cediendo in Spanish, cede. I will tell you, ceder, when it's to cede, when it's going down, is to evade, it's moving down Arnavamala, so it's ceding. Ceding. It's like the enemy. When you cede territory to your enemy, so you retreat. So Arnavamala is retreating. It's like the enemy, retreating. So you start to feel bliss because Arnavamala is like this. Because your ego is weaker and weaker. This Karma Mala, because Arnavamala is weaker too. So bliss start to filter through the holes. Arnavamala is like a network, like a net, like this. Filters bliss. When this bliss is massive, you are very near liberation. This is all the trick. So how do you know that liberation is coming? Because bliss is massive in you. Bliss without any reason. Not bliss because you have some good luck in your life or you won the lottery. No. Or you have a Ferrari. No. It's bliss without any reason. You are happy without any reason. Nothing is different in your life, but anyway, you are supremely happy. When you have this state, liberation is approaching. Arnavamala is opening. And when it's like this, liberation. Okay. That's why if someone asks, what is Shiva? The answer is that which is always everywhere. It doesn't matter what place or time you are in. He's there as all that. He's totally obvious because it's you. Yet only a few blessed ones notice him. This is the joke by Shiva. The joke. That's why I remember this video by Swami Lakshmana Ju, my Tika Guru, when he said, only 1 in 1 million people realizes that he's Parabhairava, realizes that he's Shiva. So someone asked him, why only 1? And he laughed a lot. Why only 1? If all of them are Shiva, why only 1? Hey, this is a joke. That's why he was laughing a lot. Why only 1? Why not all of them? No, only 1 in 1 million realizes that he is Shiva, finally. So it's something very difficult to attain. That's why when I realized that I was Parabhairava 12 years ago, I felt so lucky, yes, because it's 1 in 1 million. Now it's more than 1 million, 1 in 1 billion now, with these signals in this planet, yes. But it's 1 in 1 billion says, oh my God, I'm Shiva, and realizes Shivahood, and he's liberated. So if 1 in 1 billion in this humankind reaching soon 8 billion, so there are 8 liberated people per year, maybe, yes, only. Why 8 only per year? Why not more? If all of them are Shiva, no. Why? He doesn't want. No. Why in Gabriel? Why not in Tamash? No. In Tamash, not yet. There is nothing you can do. It's like this. That's why we have a mysterious Lord. Very mysterious. You can explain this like this, for example. Oh, well, he doesn't want because I'm not ready. Not really, because he can make you ready in an instant. He doesn't want because of my bad actions. No, he's without karma. He doesn't care about your actions. You can be doing bad action forever and he appears and you are a good person all of a sudden. Nobody knows. It's a mystery. It's mysterious. When you penetrate into these mysteries, you have special emotions. These emotions are not common emotions. It's emotions about him, mystery. You are a good person, so why he's not appearing? No, he doesn't want. But you're a good person. You can be the best person in the planet. Anyway, he doesn't want. Nobody knows why. It's not about good action or bad actions, or because you are, you are black, you are white, you are yellow. No, he doesn't want. Because he's not watching your skin. He's not watching your sex, because you are a woman, you are a man, you are a gay, you are lesbian. He doesn't care about this. He's not watching anything in you. He doesn't want only. He says, not yet. Why not yet? No. And no way. That's why Arnavamala you cannot remove. The aspect Paurusha Jnana and Arnavamala you cannot remove. He alone removed this aspect in you by his blessing. But when you notice in you a massive bliss coming, so this is the sign, the symptom that he starts to want. He starts to say, aha, now yes. But you don't know why. And he wants someday only, and that's it. In my case, was 14th of July of 2010. Yes, why not other day? If every day is Shiva's day. No. 14th of July 2010, Gabriel will receive liberation. That's it. And how will you do it? Nobody knows. But you will receive at that time. It's like an alarm clock. It's set like this. At that time, and that's it. Not before, not after. It's a power. When you see the universe, yes, you follow some astronomy channel on YouTube. I follow several channels. When you see the universe so massive, so insignificant this planet is, Not even the sun is significant. Absolutely insignificant. When you see this power is expanded, like the Milky Way and like the billion galaxies and beyond imagination, the number of galaxies, you realize that, well, really we don't know what this is. This is the power of our Lord. Why now? Why not later? Why not before? Nobody knows. It's a mystery. Every time when you see the universe, you have to feel this mystery. The mystery of the Lord. Why so big? Why so big? You realize that the universe is big, yes. But why so big? It's absurd. Silly. We don't need such a big universe. Look at our lives. They're very simple lives, yes. Why we need this universe? It's ridiculous. It's absurd. It's billion, trillion, quadrillion. How many stars you have there? Yes. It's absurd. And anyway, we had this universe. So this is the opulence of the absolute. It's opulent. It's like this. It's massive. Okay. He's totally obvious, yet only a few blessed ones notice him. No mental invention or opinion is able to deny him. He's usually called Purva Siddha, because Siddha in this case is not perfected, yes, like Siddha gurus, perfected gurus. No, Siddha in this case is proved. How is proved? Proved. Because he's proved Siddha, Purva in the first place, Purva in the first place. Like in Russian, Piervi, Purva in Sanskrit. It's very close relationship with Russian Sanskrit. In Spanish, primero, primero, all with P, yes, with P. Primero, Piervi, Purva, all because they come from Sanskrit. In English, first. Why? Because English comes from Germanic, and in Germanic, P changes to F. Why I know this? Because I have a Sanskrit teacher who was a linguist, so he explained to me all these mysteries. That's why in Sanskrit, pada, foot, in Spanish, pie, and in English, foot with F, come from Germanic. Okay. He's proof in the first place. Why? Because in order to prove anything, you have to be there, you there to prove. If you are not there, already proved that you exist, you cannot prove anything. For example, I want to prove that there is life in another planet. Okay, I can do it. Why you can do it? Because you are there, proof in the first place. If you don't exist, you cannot prove anything. But you exist, yes? You know that you exist. So you are proof. Your existence is proof from the beginning. So you are Purva Siddha. All this is about you, yes? It's not about some guy called Shiva. Yes? It's about you. Why? Because he's I in everybody. All theories and viewpoints rest on this I. Because without its presence, all those theories or viewpoints would be supportless. Without you, you cannot prove anything. Because you have to exist first. And in the same way, every scientist, for example, trying to prove something, they need to exist first, yes, to prove. And this existence is proved already, automatically. So if this I is not proven in the first place, if it's not firm, then one cannot prove anything else because nothing would appear. But this existing in you is already proof instantaneously, yes, automatically. And there's no need for you to prove it. In Swachanda Tantra, Shiva mentioned Vimarsha too. He said, if I can recite in this is Yes. Tasya devati devasya parabodha swarupirnaha vimarsha parama shakti sarvagya jnana shalini. Shiva says in Swachanda Tantra, Holy Tantra, is in our literature. I consciousness, or the supreme power who is omniscient, that is replete with knowledge, belongs to the one who is the greatest God among the gods, and whose nature is the highest consciousness, is you. Vimarsha belongs to Shiva, and you are Shiva. So you are the one who is the greatest God among the gods, gods in lowercase, and whose nature is the highest consciousness. All in all, Vimarsha, supreme power, belongs to Shiva only. Shiva and his Shakti are completely one, like fire and its heat. However, they are separated only for the sake of studying them. So in order to study them, you say Prakasha, Shiva, Vimarsha, Shakti. But they are one, like the heat and the fire. Because it's more simple to divide the highest reality into two sub-realities in order to better understand all these things which are beyond the scope of human mind. But in the end, it's all about direct experience. Because if you don't know that you are Shiva, all this is useless. Because even if one perfectly knows all the theoretical aspects of Shiva and Shakti, if there is no real experience of this highest reality in oneself, it's not a perfect situation. The learning of all the theoretical content should lead to the final experience. This would be the right process. Okay, now we'll move to aphorism 6, stanza 6. Parama Shivascha Swatantra Eva Shesham Nanatma Bhavatvat Naropi Tenaikyam Sampraptah Parameshwaravat Swachandah Saha. I wrote this in Trikamukha Matani. Paramashiva is totally free, since there are no multiple selves. Nara, or the limited individual, being one with him, is free like the Supreme Lord. So, Shiva is free, Shakti is free because he's one with the Lord. And Nara, the limited being, for example, Robert, Gabriel, Natalia, Ivan, Liena, Raman, Irina, Tamash, is one too, because there are not multiple self. I proved already, yes? There are not multiple self. Because the perceiver is one with the object and one with the perception of the object. And because another perceiver perceiving the same object is one with his perception and with the object too. So if both perceivers are one with the object, both perceivers are one with each other. So there are no multiple self. While watching this case, yes, from my glasses, because we are one with the case, because we are perceiving and we are one with our perception, all of us are one with each other. So there is only one perceiver. So there are no multiple selves here in this satsanga, in this video chat. No. All of them are one. So there is only one Nara, one limited being. All this multiplicity, Robert, Tamash, Irina, Gabriel, etc., is only an illusion. It's not illusion, it's a creation by Maya Mala, by Maya Tattva, that they look separate. So Nara is free like the Lord. If Nara, the limited being, this limited person, is this Purusha, Tattva 12, is one with the Lord, why does he look different from the Lord? It's because of these malas, Arnava Mala, Maya Mala, Karma Mala, all these impurities created by the Lord in order to make him bound, in order to be in bondage. It's his will that you are in bondage. Explanation. In the fourth aphorism of his Pratyabhigya Hridaya, Shri Maharaja specified the following. Chit sankochat ma chetanopi sankuchita vismayaha. The individual experience in whom there is contraction of chitti is consciousness, is Shakti, also has the universe as his body, but in a contracted way. So the individual experience, the limited being, this Purusha in you, in whom there is contraction of consciousness, of chitti, of Shakti, also has the universe as his body, but in a contracted way. So you have like a little universe, like Shiva. Chitti is another name for Shakti. So the individual experience or limited individual, because there is contraction of chitti in him due to mala or impurity, which I will speak about in a future aphorism, also has the universe as his own body, like Shiva, but in a contracted way. This is the only difference one could think about with reference to the limited individual. Anyway, the Supreme Lord and Nara, the limited individual, are always one, because it's the Supreme Lord who became Nara in order to enjoy his universe. This is clear when one analyzes the 36 tattvas or categories of universal manifestation. There is a complete chart at the end of this book. There one can see the way Shiva himself renounces his own glory, you, in order to embrace limitation. In these ways, the glorious Shiva in Tattva or category 1 becomes Purusha, limited individual, in Tattva or category 12, after a process of successive contraction triggered by Mala. In the aphorism 9 of Pratyabhigya Hridaya, Shri Maharaja confirms that Nara really is the Lord or self. He said, Chidvat tat Shakti sankochan malavrita sansari. That, the self, who is full of consciousness, becomes a transmigratory soul covered by mala due to his contraction of Shakti or power. So that the self, who is full of consciousness, who is full of Shakti, becomes the transmigratory soul, this soul in samsara, all the time moving from one body to another body, covered by mala, by these impurities, arnava mala, maya mala, and karma mala. Due to his contraction of Shakti or power, he contracts his own Shaktis, arnava mala, maya mala, and karma mala. He contracts his will, arnava mala, his knowledge, maya mala, and his action, power of action, karma mala. Despite the heavy contraction the Lord has experienced, he never became anything else. So he is in you like you all the time, never change. It doesn't matter what you do with your body and with your mind. He never changes. He's in you like this. Never changes. He's a witness to all your thoughts, to all your emotions. All these thoughts and emotions that are called ego, yes? All this is an object to him. He is the real subject. And when you get liberation, so when you have a revelation of your real I, he will look unaffected by anything. So you will realize that you, your real essence, never changed, was never affected by anything in your mind, in your body. Never changed. You understand? So when you meditate on him like this, like he's the witness of all, you, not a witness, another witness watching you. No, you are the witness. Watching every thought in your mind, every emotion in your heart, your body, etc., like a witness, so you are meditating on him. When you try to control your mind in order to stop your mind, this is not meditation on him. This is mental control. Despite the heavy contraction the Lord has experienced, he never became anything else. Even in the state of nada or limited individual, he continues to perform his divine 5 acts: manifestation, maintenance, and dissolution of the universe, plus concealing and revelation of his own essential nature. Manifestation, maintenance, and dissolution of the universe. Yes, when you move your head, you are creating a new universe, dissolving the previous universe. And concealing and revelation of your own essential nature. When there is revelation, there is liberation. Kshemaraja mentioned this in the aphorism 10 and 11 of Pratyabhijna Hridaya. He said, Tatapi tadvat panchakrityani karoti avasana rakti vimarsha vimarshana bijavastapana vilapana tastani. Even in that limited condition, the individual soul performs the 5 functions as that Supreme Self. Those functions can also be explained through these 5 terms. Avasana, the act of manifesting. Rakti, enjoyment, when you maintain the universe, you are enjoying the universe. Vimarshana, the act of experiencing oneself as the self, as Shiva. When you dissolve the universe, you experience yourself as Shiva. When you move your head like this and dissolve the previous universe, you feel yourself at that time. Bijavastapana, the act of sowing the seed, I will explain later. And Vilapana, dissolution. Here, nada. Individual soul, limited individual in the explanation, limited being. Individual soul, limited individual, and limited being are the same. All that is the same limited being who is essentially Shiva, but who anyway wanders around in samsara, in this transmigration full of misery. What Trikasha Vision specifies here is unique. Shiva never stopped performing the 5-fold act of manifesting, maintaining, and dissolving the universe, and of concealing and revealing one's own essential nature. Other philosophical systems point out that the limited individual has stopped performing those 5 acts. But Trikasha Vision explains no, even in a limited condition, Shiva continues in nada, like nada, manifesting, maintaining, dissolving the universe, and concealing and revealing his own essential nature, because nada essentially is Shiva. Of course, Shiva in limitation performed the 5 acts, but in a contracted way, which is mentioned by the sage in the above-mentioned aphorism 11. I will explain a little those apparently difficult terms in Sanskrit. Avasana, the act of manifesting. It's all that appears manifest before the senses. When you manifest something, yes, now I manifest the air conditioner. So, oh, look at this, creation. All that one can see, hear, touch, taste, and smell. All this is avasana, the act of manifesting. Rakti, enjoyment, is all that once manifest before the senses is maintained, enjoyed in experience for some time. Preserved for some time. For example, I watch the air conditioner. I maintain manifestation of this air conditioner for some time. And next I dissolve the air conditioner. I stop watching. This is with my eyes, but with my ears it's happening the same. I have some sounds in my ear, yes, my own voice now. So I'm manifesting this. I preserve these sounds in my ears, and next I dissolve. This solution is happening all the time when I speak because the sounds enter and next become silent again after every word I pronounce. Next, after enjoyment, there is vimarshana, the act of experiencing oneself as the self. It's a sudden flash of joy that emerges when that which was being maintained is finally withdrawn. So according to Shamaraja, vimarshana is the state of dissolution of the universe. Yes, not of dissolution of ignorance, dissolution of the universe. So when you experience like yourself, so it's a sudden flash of joy you experience when that emerges when that which it was being maintained is finally withdrawn. So you were watching something and you stop watching it. So you feel some joy in you. But it's sudden flash. It's very short flash of happiness. Next, Bijavastapana, the act of sowing the seed. It happens when, after the withdrawal, when you are about to feel this joy in you because you dissolve the universe and you stay in yourself. Anyway, there is some doubt in your mind. It happened when, after the withdrawal of that which had been manifested and maintained, there is generation of impressions of doubt, fear, attachment, yes, about what you manifested before, etc. This impression about your previous creation, for example, I saw this air conditioner, I dissolved the air conditioner, and I have thoughts about the air conditioner, yes? Thoughts with doubts, with fear, with attachment, etc., with love, etc. Any emotion I have about the air conditioner, any thought I have. These impressions are accumulated and constitute future karmic content that will appear later again. This process conceals one's own essential nature that started to appear like this joy in you, like vimarshana. But immediately your mind starts to feel something about what you watched before. So this bliss in you is stopped and covered. This process conceals one's own essential nature because it sows the seed of more samsara. And finally, vilapana, dissolution, but not dissolution of the universe, dissolution of your ignorance. But when one has been well instructed by a true guru, one knows how to reduce that which is not now manifested to sameness with consciousness. So all that was dissolved by you, all that is reduced to sameness with consciousness. So you realize that all that was dissolved by you, yes, for example, the air conditioner, is one with you, with consciousness. In this way, destroying the sowing of the seed of samsara. This constitutes revelation of one's own essential nature. So instead of feeling doubt, fear, love, attachment, etc., you feel now that you are one with all this universe that you dissolved before. You meditate on this sameness between the air conditioner I watch and the air conditioner I dissolve. It's one with you. So this is vilapana, grace, dissolution of your ignorance. It's another way to explain the same process. Even though the Nara, or limited individual, continues to perform the 5 divine acts, but in a contracted way, due to his limitation, he is inherently Shiva. If he were not Shiva, then he could never become Shiva at the moment of getting liberation from samsara. This teaching is always difficult to be understood. Consequently, Nara is always liberated, but he does not know it yet. This is his joke. And because Nara is one with Shiva, he is essentially free like him. This is what Nara realizes at the time of attaining his liberation. To understand it, one should firstly imagine that Shiva is an object. For example, a ball. If Shiva is a ball, then at the moment of liberation, one receives that ball. Anyway, because it's an object, one can lose Shiva again, or someone could steal it. But Shiva is not at all an object, but a supreme subject. Therefore, he can never be lost or stolen like that ball in the example. And if he's the supreme subject, then he's already Nara from the start, or Nara could never stop being Nara and merge into him again. The I of Nara is identical with Shiva. But due to massive flood of vikalpas, mental fluctuations, thoughts, such as I am fat, I am the doer of this action, I am from this country, I am a husband, etc., Nara forgets that simple truth. At the time of liberation, he realizes that, as a matter of fact, I in him has been untouched by any predicate. This realization is not mere intellectual speculation, but an actual experience full of amazement. Very well, enough of this. Now I will explain the way Shiva fell victim to bondage and became Nara. But before moving to the aphorism, the stanzas 7 and 8, I want to show you a chart with the 5 acts by Shiva and by Nara. Here you see in diagram 3, Shiva and his fileful act, universal act. Shiva, the Lord. Srishti, manifestation of the universe. Sthiti, maintenance of the universe. Samhara, withdrawal of the universe. Tirodhana, concealment of one's own essential nature. Ignorance. Anugraha, revelation of one's own essential nature. Well, this is the universal acts by Shiva in everybody. But every Nara, every little Shiva in everybody, as it were, yes, because there is no little Shiva, it's only one Shiva, but assuming this form, Nara, the limited individual, Shiva in limitation, has abhasana, the act of manifesting, all that one can see, hear, touch, taste, and smell. That is all that appears in front of one's senses. This is abhasana. Arakti, enjoyment. All that one can see, hear, touch, taste, and smell is now enjoyed for a while. Arakti. Vimarshana. All that one can see, hear, touch, taste, and smell now disappears, and one experiences a flash of joy that is immediately covered by doubts and vikalpas. Now we'll see. Bijavastapana, the act of sowing the seed. After the withdrawal of all that one can see, hear, touch, taste, and smell, one experiences generation of impressions of doubt, fear, attachment, etc., which are seeds of more samsara, more ignorance, more transmigration from body, to thought, emotion to emotion. Vilapana, dissolution, not dissolution of the universe, dissolution of ignorance. But if instructed by a true guru, one can reduce all those things that are now unmanifest to sameness with Parabhairava, destroying so all the process of sowing seed of samsara. So all this universe that you dissolved is now one with you. You realize that it's one with you. It's reduced to sameness with you by the process of meditating on this universe like Shiva. It's a technique of meditation. So there is vilapana, dissolution of this samskara, of this ignorance. Okay. We'll continue with Aphorisms 7 and 8. Aphorism 7. Narah punar banda manubhavati vastuto malena malamidan parantu. Naiva narasya bahirgata mapyatra chavishaye sandeho nastihi. Aphorism 8, stanza 8. Spashtarta tah parameshwara eva maya shaktya naro kalu bhavati. Tato malamidam sarvamiva Shri Parabhairavat samutpadyate tu. However, the limited individual, Nara, experiences bondage. Anubhavati experiences bandha, bondage, due to mala or impurity. Really. Nevertheless, this mala or impurity is not at all outside the limited individual. And there is no doubt about this topic. It's not outside, it's inside the individual. So this impurity is not in another place, creating bondage in you. It's in you, inside your mind. It expressed in express terms, spashtartata. To be clear now, the Supreme Lord himself, by means of Maya Shakti, by means of his Swatantriya, his power to create duality, becomes the limited individual. Indeed, therefore, this mala or impurity, like everything else, arises from glorious Parabhairava. So this mala arises from glorious Parabhairava, because from where else? There is nobody else. Only Parabhairava, Shiva. Explanation. These two tenets must be explained together. That's why I put the two stanzas together, stanza 7 and stanza 8. Shiva becomes Nara, who experiences bondage due to mala or impurity. This mala is always internal. Human beings are all the time blaming external factors for their misery, but the cause of it lies inside themselves. Because they're in bondage, they feel that the things are always wrong. They cannot even be really happy, but for 1 second in their entire lifetime. This tragedy of bondage is really his divine play. The human being in bondage cannot understand that his liberation is always at hand in the form of his inner self, who is the Lord himself. He does not need to go anywhere to find him. My guru used to say that human being lost Shiva in his heart and will recover him in his heart too. No doubt that the importance of the right feeling is crucial in the process of obtaining liberation, but one must have proper knowledge or the process will not be the right one. Therefore, Shiva, Parabhairava himself, by means of his own Maya Shakti, his power to create duality out of full non-duality, becomes Nara, or limited individual. And this mala or impurity created by his Maya Shakti, like everything else in this universe, arises from Parabhairava himself. As a result, this mala is not something different superimposed on him, but rather mala is his own Shakti assuming a dualistic nature. This mala is not something different superimposed on him. Some systems speak about superimposition, that ignorance is superimposed on Shiva, yes, somehow like a veil covering him. No, but rather mala is his own Shakti assuming a dualistic nature. So he wants to be in bondage, so he's in bondage. In reality, though the most important mala or impurity is one whose name is Arnava Mala, literally impurity of the limited individual, there are two other impurities. In all, there are three malas then. The name of this extra malas is Maya mala, magic impurity, and karma mala, karmic impurity. From these malas do arise other extra limitations, but it's not relevant now. The first 5 tattvas or categories, from Shiva down to Sadvidya, constitute the kingdom of his absolute freedom. It's a divine universe full of unity. Next, between tattvas 5 and 6, there is a barrier, Arnava Mala. This barrier separates the divine world from the world endowed with different levels of bondage. To get liberation in Trika means that one has crossed over Arnava Mala an outstanding feat. Indeed. It's not possible to do that without his anugraha or grace, the fifth act of Shiva. All the personal efforts in spirituality end right under Arnava Mala, exactly between Arnava Mala and the category 6 called Maya. This is a state of a special experience or knower known as Vijnana Kala. It's a state where you are completely unmovable. You cannot move at all. So I create a graphic here, separation of the words. You see, Sadvidya Tattva, Tattva 5, the kingdom of God. Tattva 5, Tattva 4, and Tattva 3, the kingdom of God. Full unity. Tattva 1 and Tattva 2 is God, beyond the kingdom, his kingdom. Next you have Arnava Mala, contraction of his fullness. Yes, contraction of his will, his swatantra contracted. And next you have Mayatata, Tattva 6, the starting point of the world in bondage. And in the middle you have Mahamaya. This Mahamaya, this great Maya, is divided into two categories. Para Mahamaya or Supreme Mahamaya and Apara Mahamaya, non-Supreme Mahamaya. So the starting point of the universal limitation is in Apara Mahamaya, where the Vijnana Kalas dwell. The Vijnana Kalas dwell in Apara Mahamaya. So the maximum in Maya Tattva, you are sleeping in deep sleep. You have to cross deep sleep and to arrive at the state of Vijnana Kala, between Arnava Mala and Maya Tattva, and wait there in bliss, feeling bliss, for the door to be opened. He will open the door and you enter. When you enter, you cross Arnava Mala in the direction of Sadvidya Tattva and you enter into the kingdom of God. Yes, this is liberation. And finally, you reach Tattva 1 and 2. This is full liberation. And at that time, you realize that you are alone, completely alone with your powers. That all the universe was a creation of your will, like a fantasy, like a trick. Real, but a trick. Not unreal like in Advaita Vedanta illusion. No, it's a real universe, but like a trick. You're alone there. And your voice is like a mechanic, like a robot. You speak like this. The voice of Shiva is like the voice of a robot. And you say, what did I do before to stay in ignorance of your own essential nature? And you see at that time that there is another universe you have only for your private activities. So there are two universes. One universe, the general universe you see around, and another universe you have for you only. But now you don't know this universe. Only for your private pastimes. These two common science is unknown, the presence of another universe. But they speak science, yes, there are multiple universes. They speak about it. Yes, because there are another universe only for him. So what are you doing here with this stupid life you have? This is the mystery of Shiva, the mystery of ignorance. His mystery. Why are you having this stupid life you have? When you can be in him. This is the mystery of Shiva. Shiva says, not yet. Stay ignorant. I like it. So he enjoys. Look at Raman. Raman is suffering. I'm so happy. Raman suffers and suffers. He's like this. Good. More suffering. Just like this. Raman just playing this. One of his videos is enjoy. Lena is suffering. I like it. Lena doesn't have a house. I like it. Good. She's suffering. Lena receives half salary. Good. She suffers more. It's like this. It's like this. So Lena tries to get liberation and no, not yet. Lena tries hard. But he's happy, denying. No, not yet. So good. He's like this, crazy. He's not mental. That's why you cannot understand him. He doesn't have a mind. He doesn't have thoughts. So you cannot understand why he behaves like this. But he's perfect. And everybody loves him. So you want people to love you? Be with him. And everybody will love you. Because people love themselves only, yes? They love themselves only. So you want by themselves, I mean him in them. So you want to be loved by people, yes? You have this crappy desire. Okay, be with him, and everybody will love you. You don't have to go to people to be loved and to do something with them. No, it's about him. Okay, for today is enough. Next satsanga will continue with these aphorisms 7, 8, and 8. And I will continue with the description of this mystery, Arnavamal, and all these things. Okay, enough. See you in the next satsanga. Om Namah Shivaya.